What's up, guys? I'm Shawn.
This is Drew.
Yes, he is.
Yes.
Back with another week of top 10 picks for March 1st, 2nd?
Yeah.
March 2nd? Yeah, 2nd's tomorrow. Today's the 1st. So, first week of March, let's see what the comic world's giving us. So, as usual, we do our top 10 picks of the week. We also do our 5 skip-its of the week. We both kind of pick on our comics for the same reasons. Story, art, do I want to read the next issue? I put a lot more spec behind my picks. Drew's a lot more into the reading aspect of it. Don't get me wrong, I read all the comics too. But he's a little more story driven, I'm more spec driven. You get two different points of view here sometimes. Sometimes we make fun of each other, tell each other we're stupid, that's fine.
Last week was fun.
Last week was fun, yes. But yeah, it's all in good fun, man.
Yes.
So we're going to get started right away. Last video we got some comments, it was a little long. We were trying to keep it a little less long-winded. Most of that's probably my fault. But so we'll start with our top 5 skip-its of the week. They're in no particular order, right?
Well, mine, I'm saving my skip-it for the last one. But if you have it too,
Okay.
we'll see what happens.
Okay, all right, we'll see. And some of my skip-its, why I picked them, ties into the other books. How good the top 10 are really reinforce how bad some of the bottom ones are. So here's my top skip-it.
Yep.
Okay, so I didn't even read that.
Yeah.
Because I don't read Transformers. You read Transformers.
Yes, I do.
And you've loved those so far.
Yeah, well, there's only been one issue for this one so far,
Oh,
Beast
okay.
Wars. But this one,
Wow, why?
not a lot happens.
Yeah, dig into it. Why are you skipping it?
Nothing really happens.
okay.
Last few pages, Optimus Primal sends one of his men on a reconnaissance mission. That's it, and he's captured. That's it.
Wow.
It's about 18 pages of skip and 3 or 4 pages of, hey, finally doing something.
An
No.
entire issue for one plot point.
Yes.
Okay.
Not worth it.
Like 2 paragraphs in the story. Goes on a
Yes.
mission. Gets captured. Let's
Yes.
make an issue out of it.
Yes.
Wow, that's kind of weak sauce.
Art's not that good either.
All right, so this cover is kind of cool. All right, I'll give it that. However, what a pile of garbage. What a complete, total pile of garbage. I've been saying all along, this series may be something if Mary Jane keeps the Carnage symbiote Null gives her and becomes 616's version of Carnage. Spoiler alert, it's in a skip it because it's a bunch of crap. She legitimately says, you know what, I'm going to start my own band. Because if you don't know, Mary Jane and Gwen are in a band in their Earth where Miles Morales came from. Same Earth, right? Pretty sure it is.
Yeah.
They from the same Earth. Well, Mary Jane from her Earth gets sucked into this Earth. She becomes Mary Jane Carnage. Well, they're in a band together. When she said, you know what, I'm going to start my own band, I was like, oh my God. It was already a terrible fight already. And it just got so bad. She legitimately captures people, puts them in symbiote wrap suit into a band. They have a stupid fight. She legitimately, Gwen legitimately, during the fight, kicks the guy behind the drums says, move out of the way. And she starts playing the effing drums in the middle of this, in the big fight climactic scene. How stupid and insulting. Oh my God, like really?
The worst part is that an editor read that and said, this is perfect.
Good idea for the story.
Yes.
I guess if this is marketed to a 12-year-old girl, Marvel and DC, please listen. 12-year-old kids are not reading comics. They're not. Maybe your nieces or some shit. 12-year-olds are not reading comics. We're the target market, right? People in their like late 20s to early 50s. Even that's a stretch. The market's really more like 32 to 45, 47. That's how old I am. Kids are reading this. Stop insulting us with this garbage. Oh my God, I'm gonna start my own band. God, it's so stupid.
This is what test groups are for, give it to a test group, see what they think, and it's like, how could someone say, yes, this is solid?
Come on. I mean, who even, McGuire, really? Please don't write any more comics, Mr. McGuire. Sorry, man. I know you got paid to do this, but it's terrible. Terrible. All right, so next one. I can go on and on about how terrible it was. I literally laughed out loud. I'm going to start my own band.
Oh.
You got that one in there, too?
That was my number 1.
All right, you go ahead, man.
This pissed me off beyond belief. pissed me off.
Yes.
Why
ever so?
So, priority number one for me. It's like I love DC Comics characters. I got a Batman shirt on. All right. I love Wonder Woman. I love Hawkgirl, and how they are treated in this. So if you know Hawkgirl, you know her past, her life is intertwined with Hawkman. There is romance involved with that. Intricately entwined
throughout eons and millennia.
Millennia. Whereas, same with Wonder Woman. She's tied with either Steve Trevor, Superman, Batman. At some point, there's always romance involved. This takes a huge dump on romance, on the fact that these two do have romantic love interests. We don't need that. No.
Oh my God.
We're better than that.
I was like, what a pile of garbage.
That pissed me off beyond belief.
This is a blatant, ridiculous girl power.
Yes.
We don't need men. Like, oh, it was a terror. What happened in your... This guy took over your mind. What happened? The guy from, what's his name? From the Harley Quinn series. I forgot his name. He took over your mind. What happened? Like, oh, it was terrible. I was married. Oh, screw that.
Was it Dr. Mento or whatever? Was it?
Whatever his guys.
But still, I'm saying shame on the editor. An editor read this script and said, yes, this is perfect. You got the characters down pat. You don't know jack and squat
this
about
is a number one of a new series.
Yes.
A number one of a new series of Wonder Woman, right? We're supposed to... I don't know. I mean, Stephanie Phillips, I believe, wrote this.
Terrible.
I don't know a lot about her, or I know she's written a bunch of other comics in the past, but this just seemed like... here's the thing. I don't care about empowering genders. That's cool. But it's completely out of character for those characters, especially Hawkgirl.
Yes.
Especially Hawkgirl. And Wonder Woman's like, oh, I had this terrible nightmare that I was tied up in the kitchen, right? Like, that was terrible. I don't think that's maybe a tongue-in-cheek nod to the fact that her origins were basically all bondage books when Wonder Woman was first made. Maybe like, oh, that's terrible that I was that. But I don't know. It was terrible. Just completely skip it.
It's poking fun at it and saying that they don't need no man. It's like, no, wrong characters to be doing this.
I'm all about independent, strong women. That's cool. I mean, how many girls work at Comics Elite that, I mean, a lot of them. I mean, I have a crap ton of young, strong, smart, intelligent female employees. I love every one of them. They're fantastic. They're great. I'm not about, women need to be in the kitchen. I don't give a shit about that. But don't beat me over the head with it in a comic and insult me by trying to tell me this is this character when it's not. Yeah. Take your own personal views. If you're single and you love being empowered by being single, you don't need no man, or somebody broke your heart or some shit.
Got your 20 cats? Good for you.
Girl or a guy broke your heart and now you just want to be single. Don't bleed it over into your comic anyway.
If you're going to do it for Harley and Ivy. There you go. Perfect for that. Don't do it for Hawkgirl or Wonder Woman. No.
It's a pile of crap.
Yes.
Ridiculous.
Really?
Oh, so I was just disappointed in it.
Wow.
I had such high hopes.
Oh my God, that is in my top 10 list. But
it barely made my skip it. You shut your dirty mouth. You shut up on Noctera. What is wrong with you? All right, go ahead.
Awesome girl is perfect at everything, can do awesome things, and yells at her very small, meager brother. There you go.
I didn't get that at all. I did not get that at all. They give you the backstory of her character a little bit, the bond between her and her brother. It kind of comes around to why she's doing this super risky job. It's ultimately for her brother. She passes up on money and other stuff just to get juice to try to help her brother out. I didn't get that she was this super ultra badass chick. I like how at the very end there's this big twist. The guy you think comes in as the villain in the very end, but it turns out he may be the one that's going to help save them, maybe, because she not only took this job, I implore you to revisit this and try it again because I loved it. Anyway, I was just disappointed after how good Suicide Squad was in Future State. I kind of wanted more, and it didn't cut any of that. What happened in Future State, none of it happens in here. Unless I missed something, but none of it happens in here. The thing at the end, there's a little surprise at the end. Won't spoil it for you too much. Dude chained up. Okay, that's maybe a bleed over from it.
But this all takes place before that. This all takes place years before.
Okay, so it confused me. I missed all that.
This is all 6 years before.
Okay, 6 years. I totally missed right over my head. Missed that whole thing. but even now knowing that, it doesn't make it any better for me. Maybe a little bit better. It still makes it into my skip it though.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just it didn't get me.
Okay.
Noctera. Oh my god, I can't believe you skipped Noctera.
Hey, awesome girl, doesn't struggle, can do awesome things. All right. That's every other Marvel comic.
I think I have 6 on accident. Oh no, I don't know what I did. Okay, next.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Ooh, I can't wait to tear this to pieces.
Hey kids, want to read a less interesting story about Knight Rider? There you go. Yeah.
Yes.
Very less interesting. Guy finds a car in a junkyard that can talk to him and does super things.
Is it named Kit?
You know,
does the guy have a super hairy chest all the time?
I handed this off to Kyle. I'm like, read this. Tell me what you think it is. He's like, is this a dumb version of Knight Rider? I'm like,
oh man, that's hilarious.
Yes. No Hoff. Yeah.
Okay, did you read this at all?
God, no.
Okay. Again, okay, I don't care about love stories. That's fine. There's love interest in comics, like they try to pretend doesn't exist in Wonder Woman. Love interest exists in comics, 100%. There are gay characters in comics. I don't care. I'm not a homophobe.
Yep.
I don't give a shit.
Midnighter, one of our favorites. He's awesome.
Yeah, that was one of my top picks.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Midnighter, and him and Orion, or whatever his name is, I just forgot. Apollo, yeah. They're banging all the time. I don't care. Right?
But it's not the center of the story.
19 scenes, squares, of these two either looking lovingly at each other, kissing, laying intimately on a beach. They beat us over the head with the fact they're constantly, hey hun, whatever. They beat us over the head with the fact that Wiccan and Hulkling are gay. We get it. We get that they're gay.
And they're married.
Yes. We got it. Don't beat me over the head with 19 scenes of these two being. I don't care if it's Batman and Catwoman. I don't want to see Batman and Catwoman gazing lovingly into each other's eyes for 19 different scenes in a comic. Get this shit out of here, man. It's ridiculous.
There's a saying.
Tinny Howard. Really?
Oh no, she's. Well, I should expect nothing less from her.
God,
with that,
like again, just stop treating us like we're idiots, and stop trying to. If you have an agenda, some kind of political or social agenda in comics, that's fine. Don't beat it. Oh, no pun intended. Don't shove it down our throats. Get it?
Yeah.
Anyway.
But there's a saying, eloquent in its brevity, and that's where the first Authority series did well with Apollo and Midnighter.
I love the first Authority series.
Yes, but with Apollo and Midnighter, we knew that they were gay, but it wasn't in every single comic. You didn't get 19 panels of them doing that.
And they can function next to each other without.
Yes, we never got that. Not once.
They had missions to accomplish. They were whatever. Same thing. I'm not even like that with my wife. I don't know anybody who's like that with their significant other. Every time you're with each other, you have to be super puppy dog eyes and oh my god, just a pile of garbage.
Yeah.
Stupid. Story's stupid too. Whatever. All right, next skip it.
That's the last one.
Yeah, last one.
Last one. Yeah.
Drew. All right, so I picked this because you don't get any answers. We're teased.
Oh, yeah.
We're teased. Well, first off, this is the stupidest Wolverine costume I've ever seen. It's so stupid. It's just the stupidest. Now, I did put this. You may want to pick this up for this cover. This cover, if the story would have been better, this cover would have made it into my top 10. The story was bad enough to just make it not get in there. And here's the thing, man. I love Jason Aaron, but the story's just dragging on and on and on. Come on, man. The Phoenix needs a new person, a new host. Got it. They put these characters in pits fighting against each other, right? But we don't really know who's winning. It's not a tournament. People randomly popping in and out. We don't know who's going to win. She's teased that she's Thor's real mom. There's zero satisfaction to that whatsoever in this story. Again, just a nothing issue. Except for we see how stupid Wolverine's costume is. The eyepiece is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Okay. What would you have? Did you talk about yours?
Constant virtue signaling to Wonder Woman about how great and awesome and how she's the awesomest ever.
That did happen, yeah.
Yeah, and same with the future with Nubia. You're the awesomest ever. You're going to be the awesomest queen ever. And the only part of this I really liked was the very end. Very, very end.
The very end was cool.
Yes, that was it, and I laughed out loud with the coming out story with Alan Scott and his kids.
Oh, man.
It's one of those. I know they were not supposed to. We're supposed to take it seriously, but I couldn't help but laugh out loud. I'm like, I'm sorry, this is not.
Well, and you're a big fan of Justice Society.
I love the Justice Society. I love Green Lantern. I love Wildcat, Hourman. I love the old Vigilantes, and that one was it just feels wrong. There's something very wrong about it.
Yeah, I'll talk about it when I get to it. I definitely share those concerns. Okay, we do have a top 10, believe it or not.
Yes, there was some good stuff.
There was some good stuff.
A lot of good stuff.
Let's do our top 10.
All right.
I'm all over the place here. Okay, number 10. You ready?
Yes, let's do it.
Boom. Really? I didn't even read that.
Yes.
Okay, so this is Fear Case. You can't really see it. You didn't like this when it first came out.
I didn't like the art. The art was...
Oh, okay. I'm not going to get too much into it. It's kind of one of those, like, the Ring things. You got to pass it on, horror stories. The Secret Service are after this case, because when you get the case, you have to either give it to the person you hate the most, or else it passes on to the person you love the most. They're trying to track this case down. Every agent team has a year to solve it. It moves the story along really good. Made my number 10. I'm not going to go into too much. I highly advise reading it. The art isn't super detailed. You can tell they maybe had to cut budget a little bit on the art, but the story carries it through for me. Absolutely. What'd you have again?
James Bond.
Oh, yeah.
Agent Inspector. Yeah, this was actually pretty interesting. I hated the last series by Teenie Howard and Daniel and her understudy.
Yeah.
It was terrible. This one was a big step up. Christos Gage was the writer. Steve Epting did this cover. Essentially, it's sometime down the line in James Bond's career. We don't know how far along the line it is, but he's essentially given a devil's bargain, from Spectre. Hey, come work for us, or we're gonna take out your best friend.
Okay.
You've got nothing left you have nothing to go home to. Come with us. We'll pay you millions of dollars, and it's like, okay. Yeah.
I'm like you're such a fan of James Bond, but again, that's one of those books I could just give zero shits about James Bond in a comic. Right. This is me personally. I didn't like it I'm not a big movie guy watching James Bond. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Okay, I'm a big Bond lore fan. I've been reading all the novels since I was in high school. I love the Warren Ellis comics. They're great. Yeah,
he's super Bond guy.
Yes.
Okay, so if you like Bond, pick it up.
Yes.
Drew likes it.
Yes, big step up in the last series.
Number 9.
Number 9.
Ooh, that's got to be a cover by.
Absolutely.
Okay. Mine's also covered by. Story, I could give a shit less about this story. I looked at it, I read it. About 25% through, I stopped reading the story and just started skimming it. The art is extremely mediocre, if not subpar. If you're a fan of Momoko, then you're going to love it to death. If you don't understand the fandom behind Momoko, you're not going to understand this either. This is a Japanese comic, guys. It's a Japanese comic. It's been translated into English. It's Japanese art, Japanese story. It's a Japanese comic. It's been made into English. So if you like Japanimation stuff, if you like the, I just brain farted. Manga. If you like the manga, if you like that stuff, pick it up. If you don't, get it for the beautiful Mark Brooks cover. Mark Brooks, man, nailed it. This was also revealed way past FOC, so. Not way past FOC, but it may not have been ordered as heavy as it should have been. We knew it was going to be a Mark Brooks cover. You can never go wrong with a Mark Brooks cover. But strictly a cover by. Story, my opinion. What'd you have?
Cover by.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that Garvey?
Yeah, Keith Garvey. Yes,
Garvey,
it is.
Yeah.
Sexy cover. Love it.
Okay, great.
Get it for that cover.
It's pretty good, yeah.
Yes, it is.
We can move on because we don't want to keep it too long. 7. Oh, yeah, Enoch. This is just because it's what it is. It's number 3. It's the second. This is the first print.
First print.
This one just came out, right?
Yes, it did.
I'm super confused. Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. There's so many Star Wars this week. It's all over the place. Yes, story moves along. Super good. We still don't get the big reveal or the first appearance of the bad guys we've been looking for. On issue number 1, there was a 1 in 10, had 2 kick-ass bad guys on it. Where are they? Everyone's speculating on every single issue, thinking it's going to be them. They haven't showed up yet. There's a super cool bad guy in this one, and I really liked it. So it's number 7. Okay, what you got?
ENIAC.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Oh, I loved it.
You cannot take this. You cannot take this comic seriously. You can't. I've been reading this because there are several things that are very exaggerated in this.
Okay.
Specifically in American history. the timeline.
I took it seriously.
Because I'm reading, I'm laughing out loud. I am literally laughing. Indy's looking at me downstairs. I'm laughing because so many things happen in this. It's like this is so laughably out loud stupid. But I'm enjoying it because it's so over the top, and just have this crazy computer. It's predicting everything, knowing everything, and people are having conversations and naked in the middle of the desert so they don't get tracked. I'm laughing out loud.
I thought that was cool.
And you got the super badass women agents who are so awesome.
Secretary of Defense.
Secretary of Defense, yes. It just everything is so over the top. It's like reading a Michael Bay comic if it were in comic form. It's hysterical. You'll enjoy it.
I loved it. Well, I'll get to mine. Mine's coming up. All right, next. What are we on? 6?
7.
Oh yeah, 7. That was number 8. Oh man, but I didn't read that. Okay, Crime Syndicate. We get a new reboot. Kind of, I hate to use the word reboot, but retelling of the Crime Syndicate for it's right now. Like in the story, somebody says on purpose, "Man, this year's been so crappy. I almost wish it was 2020 again." So this is happening right now. You get some of the origin of Ultraman, which I don't think we ever got to see before.
We saw it in the New 52 by Jeff Johns, and his was more twisted, and that's New 52. Everything was darker and more evil.
Yeah.
But this film felt more fitting. I liked his origin in this.
Yeah.
This was good.
I like this a lot. I really enjoy this. I'm a fan of the Crime Syndicate anyway, and Evil Justice League. I'm all in. So this is great. I highly advise it. Read it. You'll enjoy it. Donna Troy's twisted. They're all really evil. It was just really cool.
That's in my list a little later on. Yes,
yeah, I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
All right, go for it. What you got?
I've got Man-Bat.
Oh, yeah.
Man-Bat v...
You read some weird shit, dude.
I love Man-Bat. I love Batman's
James
rogues.
Bond,
yes.
Man-Bat, Transform... Like, you just like all that stuff that...
Yeah.
I love that you do that because I don't read any of that stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm not even interested in it, so...
It's like I love characters like Man-Bat because I love Batman animated series. Mm-hmm. And Man-Bat was in a few of those episodes.
Yeah.
And there's pretty damn good episodes too, but in this one is Man-Bat versus the Suicide Squad, and this all takes place before Justice League Dark took place and Dark Knight's Metal, so we see everything leading up to that. And the ending is kind of iffy for me because I do not like Harley Quinn, and it ends with those two possibly having a therapy session in the next issue, so I'm like treading very carefully, like, okay.
That disqualifies any comic from any credibility.
Yes, it's like, but still, the fight scenes in this are pretty damn good. And I'm gonna give the next issue a pick.
Who's the cover by? That's not
Cal
Hotz.
Hotz.
Oh,
that's
okay,
Hotz. I love that cover. Love that Hotz cover.
There you go. Can't go wrong with that.
Nope.
All right, next one. Now we're on
6.
6. Okay. Yep. Oh, Thunderbolts.
Yes.
All right, High Adventures. You go ahead with Thunderbolts.
This another awesome Kyle Hotz cover. Love this one. 2 for this week from Kyle. This is a solid conclusion to the Thunderbolts. We get to see their mission. If they're successful with taking the Sentry's body and blowing up where Null is, and it ends in there's a double cross near the end. And I don't want to spoil anything. Give it a read. It's a great twists and turns, great action scenes. The art is beautiful on the inside. I love this artist's depiction of New York City, all covered in Null goo.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. I just didn't like it that much. Again, I feel like the very ending was really kind of corny, like super corny. We'll be there, like really. And then I did like this. You kind of get to see how much of a badass Star is.
Well, and that too. Yes, she has a great scene where she just knocks out some.
Yeah, but she can use that power, but it's almost like a one and done kind of power for her.
Yeah. And we see Taskmaster be an absolute badass in this series. He's actually treated with some respect.
I hate the way he's drawn.
Yes, I'm not a fan of that. The mask looks more like a plate than anything else.
Yeah, I hate the way he's drawn.
Yeah.
Okay, so High Republic, the story goes on. It's really good. Art's mediocre, but it's an IDW series. It's supposed to be more kid-oriented. I don't get that feel from this at all, that it's kid-oriented. You get the full first appearance of a pretty cool new bad guy in there. Really hope to see what happens with him. He's super selfish. You can definitely tell he's got dark side thinking in there, the way he's guiding some of these kids. I really liked it. I highly advise you pick it up.
Okay.
All right. Are we 5 halfway?
5 halfway.
You picked that cover?
Yes.
Good Lord. All right, I'm going to start. So,
not just a cover by
Infinite Frontier. There's a couple cringy moments in it. It is a dual key this week. You get to see. I just forgot his name. Hold on. You get to see Simon Saint, who becomes the magistrate. So.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So he shows up in here. It's a dual first appearance because he's also in another book I'm going to show a little later on. So this is a much more abbreviated appearance of him. I like something crazy happens in Arkham Asylum that also carries over into the Suicide Squad. So that happens. I like the continuity seems to be on point. In the very beginning, they say all these great elders of the universe are talking to Wonder Woman, trying to convince her to join them, like the Wonder Woman that was like in the future state.
Yeah.
The white Wonder Woman, all clothed white Wonder Woman, trying to get her to join them as one of the great elders of the universe, kind of, and get to watch and stand by and stuff. And they're trying to convince her to join them, so they take a journey throughout this new universe. They basically say they're doing away with the New 52. In the very beginning, they're like, the universe was split into 52 universes, but those are all gone now. We're restored to your original time. So I don't know if that means the New 52 is wiped from DC continuity.
I think
kind of hard to do.
It's a huge omniverse now. There's a huge
they said there's multiple universes now. There's not just 52.
Yeah.
But I think that's from what I got it. That's what they're saying.
It's saying everything matters now.
Yeah, you restored your original timeline, and at the end, huge reveal at the end.
Yeah.
We get a new version of everyone's favorite bad guy, and he even says like these different parts of him are all together now, and he f's up the elders. Spoiler alert. Man, it's.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm just hoping he lays waste to all these heroes. Please, please lay waste to everyone.
Super good.
Do us all a favor.
There's some good. The cringies are aligned with the good stories in there, but I picked it because you got Key, you got new version of the bad guy. That's going to be a key. You got new version of this guy making a first appearance or first cameo, dual first appearance. That's a key. New Wonder Woman costume at the end. So that's going to be a key. There's lots of keys stuff in here. More minor key events, new costume. I don't feel like that's a big key, but it all happens in this issue. So I really liked it. I thought it was pretty good. Again, the cringy moments are outshined by the good moments, in my opinion. What you got?
I had Avengers Mech Strike #2.
Oh yeah.
So I wasn't planning on rating this one at all. I thought it was gonna be a one-hitter quitter. I'm done. Not gonna pick it up. So I start reading it, and it has the same setup as Pacific Rim does. They're on a clock. The kaijus keep coming back, but as we see time goes along, you notice that the window gets shorter, and that there may be someone else behind this. And there's a big twist halfway through this. We see who it is, when and where they're coming from. One of the Avengers gets taken out fast. It's blown away, pretty much, just blown away on the page. And essentially at the very end, we see Avengers Tower is blown away, gone, done. Okay. Big.
So it sounds like there's some major story stuff happening here that may be kind of cool.
Yes, and it's better than your Avengers comic. Yes. If you're going to read an Avengers comic, read this one.
Yeah, that Avengers is.
The art is fantastic. The same guy, Carlos Magno, did the art in the first one.
You make me now. Do I need to read issue 1 or can I just read issue 2?
I would say pick up issue 1 for the art.
Okay.
Just for the art alone. You get what's going on.
I didn't even bother with this series. I thought it was just the stupid Avengers robots.
So did I, but I'll say the villain that shows up halfway in this is easily one of his top 3 best moments ever.
Oh, shit.
Yes.
Well, that's saying a lot.
Yes, it is. It's awesome.
Okay.
This is not just a hit filler comic.
I'm down to read that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
Noctera was so good. It's good. The art is fantastic. I mean, it's Tony Daniels. Yeah, the whole art is super fantastic. Oh, can't forget about Tomu Mori. Sorry. But it's totally Daniels. You can see it all over the place. The story's great. You find out something happens to the world. It becomes a super crazy place. They explain how humans start to turn into this crazy thing. Scott Snyder, I think this is some of his best storytelling. It's not, Scott can be very nonlinear in his storytelling. This is very nonlinear also. But by the end of issue 1, you feel very satisfied and gratified that you understand who the characters are, where they've come from, what their journey is. Their paths are set very in one issue. He does all that in one issue. There's tons of action in it. I'm a huge fan of this. I did pull out most of the ratio variants if you want to see what they are for this. 1 in 200 is black blank. You can see the Noctera at the top. It's kind of hard to see in this, but there's a 1 in 200. This is the 1 in 150. This is the Capullo. Capullo 1 in 150. 1 in 100 is the other guy. Man, my brain is off at the end of the day. Tony Daniels 1 in 100. If you can't see these, sorry, you can look at 1 in 75. Jock. Very cool. 1 in 25. I think that's Jorge Jimenez. Yes, 1 in 25. Jorge Jimenez. And the 1 in 10. Whoever this guy is.
Schmerson.
Yeah. Sorry, this guy.
We'll never forget him.
Name. 1 in 10. Jim Fim. I don't know. I'm sorry. Sorry, my bad.
Schmerson.
My bad. So there's a lot of good ratios for these out there. Check the prices online before you go to your comic shop and overpay for it. So yeah, I love Noctera. It made it super high on my list. It's my number 4. I cannot wait to read the next one, and I implore you to give it another shot. It's super good. Go ahead.
Crime Syndicate. I love the Crime Syndicate.
Yes.
I love Earth 3, and this was just fun. I'm smiling ear to ear because I love the twists on everything. If you're not familiar with Earth 3, it's essentially what if the bad guys ruled the Earth?
Yeah.
What if Superman was evil? So, and we got a different president. It's Benedict. I think it's Arnold USA.
Oh yeah,
Arnold
that's pretty cool. Yeah. Arnold DC or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Benedict Arnold. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that twist. And the backup story by Brian Hitch on the art, showing Ultraman's origin.
Yep.
Great origin story. Yeah. I cannot recommend this one enough. It's a very fun read. Just fun.
Yeah. Loved it. I mean, everybody that should have been good is evil.
Yes.
Even Jonathan and Martha Kent. If they were evil,
mm-hmm.
not like super dark evil where they're
mm-hmm.
like murdering babies, but how would they be bad parents if they raised Clark in a negative way?
A kid who can do anything.
It's really thought out really well. Yeah, really well.
I will say the one thing I did not I had a kind of little critique about is how they did Power Ring in this one. I didn't like how they did him as in compared to the New 52, where the ring was more or less took him over, and like you see his arm mutating.
Yeah.
It didn't really see that much in this one.
Yeah.
But
yeah, hopefully they get that a little better too.
A little gripe, but not much.
3. Oh man, I can't believe we put that so high.
Yeah.
Enoch, I loved it. I didn't laugh at it at all. Matt Kent, by the way. Let's talk about this guy.
Yeah.
Matt Kent, great this week. He also wrote Fear Case this week, and he helped write something else. I'm sorry, I totally just spaced what it is. But Matt Kent is...
I think I have that one a little later in my stack.
Okay, yeah, maybe too. So Matt Kent writer of the week, maybe of the month, crushing it out the gate with some fantastic books. Now this Enoch, I've done a video on it. I'll link it at the end of this channel to the Enoch and why it's such a hot book. It's by Bad Idea. It's the first published book by Bad Idea. Congrats, Bad Idea.
Good for you.
So, Bad Idea is, I'm not getting into the whole thing about what Bad Idea is, but basically, only certain stores can carry these. You have to sell them at cover price for the first 30 days. One per customer for the first 30 days of the book's release. This sold out, and it was allocated. So stores literally got half of what they ordered. So we only got half of our order of these. These first prints are going to be they already are super sought after. We're not selling them on the website for Comics League. The only way to get them for this special issue, in keeping with kind of the spirit of where I think Bad Idea is going, you have to come into our store to get it in person only. So I love the story. It's fantastic. A supercomputer goes nuts, and like we make the supercomputer by feeding it all of human information. It continues to grow and learn. It orders the second bomb dropping on Nagasaki. It wasn't human done, and then it tries to do other things. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody, but I am a fan of this big time. It tried to stop the Cold War by doing certain things, which probably would have worked, but I don't know why you think it's so funny. It's really good. Your top pick had James Bond in it.
We see a Nick Fury amalgam come in here and try to take down the ship. It's like, oh my god,
it's literally the Secretary of Defense who's so paranoid. He's in the desert naked, and even he kind of makes fun of himself.
It's not the same guy. It's the Nick Fury guy on the boat with his team.
Oh yeah. The guy, the crazy Black Ops team.
Yeah.
If you can like James Bond so much, I don't know how you can't like this one.
Because this is a judicious rewriting of history. They are rewriting history with this, and they
didn't rewrite history. The history still happened. It's just different how the events behind it.
If there was a fictitious computer, orchestrating
because it's a comic book.
Yes,
it's a comic book.
Which means you can. You can laugh and enjoy things that are over the top. There are things about this I enjoyed it because this is clearly over the top. I'm not gonna say I did not hate this. I'm laughing because it's over the top and it's fun.
I loved it. I thought
Okay,
it was.
yeah.
I didn't like. He thinks more of a humor.
Yes.
I loved it. I think it was fantastic. This book is super fire. The story's great. The art is great. The artist put so much care into drawing it. You can definitely
Doug
tell.
Braithwaite. Yeah, he did a great job.
Yeah, a lot of care into it. I cannot wait to read the next one, see how it goes. So it's also great paper quality. It's a heavy book.
Yeah.
The cover stock is fantastic. Good on bad idea for putting some effort into making a good quality comic book.
Yes,
Very happy.
absolutely.
All right, what'd you have?
I had Suicide Squad.
Oh, yeah.
So I knew going into this. This was 5 years before the Futures
Yeah,
and Future State.
I totally
Yeah.
missed that. They probably should have. They should probably tell us that, because the average reader, you're a student of
Yeah.
DC. The average reader's not going to know that.
Okay.
Like me, I didn't know that, and I'm reading all these books. So anyway, go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, this is 5 years before everything from Future's End. No, Future State. Sorry, from which means
Future's End State.
Yeah.
Future's End State Crisis Frontier.
And it's a snatch and grab, smash and grab into the Arkham Asylum. They gotta take out someone, and it's a very fun, action-packed issue. And I love the fact how they have different team members. There's no Harley Quinn,
Yep.
no Captain Boomerang, no
Yep.
Deadshot. That's great. And anytime there's no Harley Quinn, I'm like, yes, sign me up.
Yeah,
And,
it just barely didn't make my list. There were a lot of things I liked about it.
Yeah.
I thought the art was really good. I did like the pacing of the story was
yes,
really well.
pacing is terrific in this.
Yep.
Yeah.
I liked the big reveal at the end. I did like how when they started off, they basically say, "We're tired of the old Suicide Squad formula, like just like we all are. They're bad guys. We get it. Their heads are gonna blow up. We get it. Like it's a whole new kind of a take on it, really.
Yeah.
So I did like that also.
I like the guys the guys in the team that they had. Film Freak. I haven't seen Film Freak since Nightfall. I think.
I know that was kind of cool. So yeah, it was. I agree. It's like I said, I'm surprised it made it so high up because
I
really
enjoyed it. I'm like, oh, this is so much. This is so awesome. I love this.
Yeah,
And,
It barely didn't make my top 10. Okay, now last two.
That's two.
Number 2. Yeah, I knew you were gonna pick Swamp Thing.
Yes.
Oh my God, Berserker. This is gotta be.
like. Oh, never mind.
This has got to be. So it lives up to the hype. I'm gonna tell you that right now. It's probably the most violent, gory. This guy is like a berserker. Like if you were to see, remember back when Wolverine was cool?
Yes.
He used to have berserker rages.
Yes.
And you would imagine what he would possibly do to people. Somebody was fighting an army like this. It makes me wonder. The whole time I'm reading it, okay, how much can this guy take? What else is he gonna do? What's going on? How can he be like this? And then it's also telling, oh, this is Matt Kent helped Keanu Reeves write this. So this is number 3 for Matt Kent. Congratulations, Matt. I don't want to say too much about it because I'm going to want to spoil it for people. But at the end, there's a huge WTF moment where you're like, wow, I can't wait to see how this happened. You kind of think you know what's happening, and then they throw a huge curveball in there. You're like, oh, I see how this guy can do this stuff. And then you're like, nope, I don't understand how he can do this stuff. Absolutely fantastic. I don't see people like, oh, it's going to be a movie. It's going to be a movie. I don't know how they made this movie unless it was rated triple R for all the violence in it.
Yeah.
It would literally have to have like an X rating for violence. No sexuality, just all violence.
Yeah.
But I loved it. It was fun. The action scenes are well drawn. They're well scripted. It flows easily from the different camera angles where you're seeing it from. Huge fan. Loved it. Cannot wait to read the next one, which makes me super happy because I know a lot of people bought a crap ton of these to get the 1 in 1,000 racial variants signed by Keanu Reeves. So there's going to be a lot of copies of the floating around of these guys. They're probably going to be discounted wherever you go. Look around. Try to get as many of these as cheap as you can for right now because this story lives up and it's going to have some staying power to it. That's my opinion. What you got?
I've got Swamp Thing.
Yes, Swamp Thing.
So I love the Matina cover right here. This Matina cover is
Pretty good, yeah.
gorgeous.
I like his use of light on that cover. It's good.
Yes. And Ram V wrote this. He wrote the Future State Swamp Thing, which was far and away
Fantastic.
the best Future State story.
Agreed.
And Mark Perkins did the art in this as well as Future State 1. And the art in this is flipping
Very good.
horrific. It's terrific. It's horrific. It's great. We get great parallels between the explaining of larvae and life, and when possibly Swamp Thing's life, how he comes to be, and we see the new Swamp Thing get his butt kicked more or less later on. And the one thing I'm kind of questioning on is how he becomes Swamp Thing. Mm-hmm. I'm not really sure where this is going with that.
I wonder who the bad guy is.
Yes, and that was creepiest.
I think this is a major new villain in the Swamp Thing lore.
Oh, I forgot. We got a key right here. Yeah, we got a key right here with this villain.
It's just so it didn't make my top 10 because I'm just not a big Swamp Thing fan, and there were so many other good books in there. It would have been my number 11. This was number 11 for me. It just barely didn't make it.
And coming from a Swamp Thing fan, this is probably why it's I would have if it weren't good, I wouldn't have put it in my list. But I love this. If you love Swamp Thing, you love great horror stories, you'll enjoy this.
Yeah. So I lied. Suicide Squad was not number 11. This was 11. Suicide Squad number 12. A lot of strong.
Yeah, there were. Yeah.
DC's been strong. Okay, so next.
Number one.
Before we reveal number 1, real quick, store exclusive from myself and Comic Kingdom of Canada, my friend Spencer from the great up north in Canada. This is Star Wars High Republic, number 3. Love this cover. We are sold out of the Virgin copies and of the sets. There's only trade dress remaining, and those are going very quickly. So pick this up, comicsleaguecomics.com, if you want to get the exclusive limited to only 3,000. Some people don't like store variants because they don't think they have a lot of value. Some do. Some of them blow up. Some of them do not. It just depends. At the end of the day, there's only 3,000 of these made. Look at the print run of the main cover. It's going to be in the tens of thousands. So if you want a collectible cover, get the store exclusives. Okay. Number 1, you ready?
1.
Oh, yeah, Berserker.
Yes.
I can't believe Batman didn't make your cut. I'll let you rave about how amazing... Oh, actually, first, let me talk about this because I want to talk about how awesome that is again.
And I'll get to why I'm like... This one ventured on my recommend, not... It's like...
3 reasons. One main one, Miracle Molly cameo. Now, be forewarned, dear readers. Be forewarned. This is DC's about to beat us over the head with first appearances. I think DC has a quest to make either every comic a Batman comic, or every comic will have a first appearance in it. So be prepared for tons of first appearances coming up. This one is a major female character. She looks pretty interesting. This is her first cameo, clearly. Damian gets a new costume in it at the end. Not a big deal. And Simon Saint, this is clearly his full first appearance. That's a pretty major one, too. I have a theory also in the redhead guy that escapes Arkham in New Frontier, or what is it? The one I talked about?
Oh, the one who was, that was...
He gets blown up?
Talking about Roy Harper?
No. In Infinite Frontier?
Yeah, Roy Harper.
The Batman story?
Yeah.
Was that him?
No. I was talking, he's in the Green Arrow one later on.
So there's a guy in here. So something major happens in Arkham Asylum.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Bane could be toast. Don't know if that's actually Bane, but it could be. They hint that it's the Joker, but there's also a clue that it's not the Joker that does it. That bleeds over into Suicide Squad, so that something major happens. I have a very small theory. The guy that's running around in Arkham Asylum, he's a redhead, right? Mm-hmm. And he gets something major happens to his body, but we don't see him die.
I think
I have a theory. Maybe he becomes Peacekeeper 1.
Could, yeah.
That's a crazy theory. So anyway,
it could be Jonathan Crane.
So
he's redhead.
No, Jonathan Crane is in there.
Okay,
he's in there. New version of Scarecrow.
Yes,
love it.
Yeah,
great. Kudos to the artist who designed that guy.
That's the one thing I'll commend at Scarecrow. He's got it reminds me of that Batman '89 when they're going through the trophy museum, see the statues.
Yep.
There's that one, the King of the Wicker People. Yeah, looks like that guy.
It does.
Yeah.
And you know what? Kudos to DC and for James Tynion for not abandoning Clown Hunter and Ghostmaker. Those characters are still making appearances and they're still part of the story. So they're definitely not one and done throwaway characters. So hopefully these new appearances DC's doing, they actually stick around. Now once a new creative team comes in, who knows? Mm-hmm. But I think Miracle Molly has some legs to her. That's why I'm specking on this. And this is kind of people had suspicions. This was ordered a little more heavily than normal. But your average comic shop's not ordering a lot of these Batman books. So this is a cameo. Go out and hunt it down and try to grab it. That's my number 1. Go, Berserker. You love
The reason why this is my number one, because not only did this make what 3 million it made on Kickstarter?
A ton.
Yeah, millions. It made over $1 million. The reason why is because this had a lot of hype, and this lived up to the hype and just knocked it out of the park. I mean, this, like Shawn said, the violence in this is like triple X nuts. Like,
Yeah.
I've never seen Ron Garney do violence like this before. You see a guy's body parts get ripped out and use as weapons. What
I was
the
just
hell?
gonna say,
Oh my
yeah,
God!
it's
Sorry to
amazing.
spoil it. It is awesome. It's over the top,
Yeah.
awesome, kick-ass violence, and the story is terrific. Great twist, great mystery at the end.
Yeah.
I cannot wait for the next one. This lives up to the hype, and like you said, there's lots of these, but I highly encourage you. They're gonna be cheap. Buy one for your friends. Buy one for your brothers. Buy one for your friends. They're going to love this. They're going to enjoy this. I have a strong feeling this could be wind up like a Spawn '1, where it's going to be a steady $8 to $10 book for time, no matter how long.
Now remember, the foils of this come out next
Next month?
next week.
Oh, next week.
They come out a while from now because it took a while for them to print the foils. So the foils are backed up. So there are foil versions of the covers for Berserker coming out.
Yeah.
So your LCS won't have them. They're still coming out. Don't worry. Berserker was so good.
Yeah, it lives up to the hype. Blows
So
it away.
good. It would have been number one by far, except this has got the first appearances and new costume and whatnot in it. So that's why it beat out. It barely beat it out. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching us again. Now, if you want to win all my picks, you can win all of these, right? If you win all these, you just have to. What do you got to do, Drew? Tell them.
You gotta like, gotta subscribe, hit that notification bell, pop, pop, pop.
Yes, because we do giveaways, and if you don't want to miss when we do the giveaways, and you have to comment your like number. Comment your like number. You can just comment your like number if you want to. Let us know what book you're looking for. I love I read all the comments.
Yep.
I know Drew reads all the comments.
Yep.
Drew comments on some of the comments. I don't have time to comment on all the comments that you guys commented on with the comments. But I do enjoy reading the comments, guys, so please.
Great interactions. Love it.
The channel continues to grow. We have major giveaways planned at the 2,000 mark. We're super close. We're like maybe 300 away.
Don't you have a Kickstarter out right now?
Yes, and go to Kickstarter and search for Death Rage. Search for Death Rage. It's the second book in the from Merc Magazine, which is a publishing company myself and Jamie Tyndall own. It's awesome. There's covers from Tyler Kirkham, Ryan Kincaid, Ali Garza. There's some fantastic covers out there. Frank Uzin. Guys, just go check it out. You're not going to want to miss it. It's fantastic. Great story. Death Rage. A lot of fun. So, thanks a lot, guys, and we will see you next week.
Take it easy.